All right. Good morning. Big day. Welcome back. Big day, big day, big day. All right, make sure we're good here. Morning, morning. Happy Wednesday. Happy FOMC day. Happy market deciding-ish day. Big day. What's going on, guys? Definitely a Celsius type of day. I've been waking up earlier, and it's been nice. Been waking up at like 6 a.m. I used to wake up around 7, but 6 a.m. having 2 hours before the stream has been really nice. I encourage you guys to wake up earlier if you can. I know some of you guys are on the West Coast, so that's probably not possible, but to you guys that are on the East Coast, I encourage you to wake up earlier. It's been very refreshing, very, very nice. Had more time to game plan. You know, still wrong on some game plans, of course, right? We can never be perfect, but have had come into the days with some more clarity. So it's been good. All right. So welcome back. Welcome back. Today, as you guys know, FOMC, we have ADP employment, we have job openings, job quits, we have some major economic news. We have some pretty big earnings after hours as well. We had some earnings yesterday, so we got a lot of stuff going on today. Or we can talk about yesterday. Yesterday, I think I had the right idea coming into the day, but I didn't quite execute it correctly. I was looking for that 200 SMA rejection. It did come in, but just didn't really execute it correctly. If you guys saw my video yesterday, I took my loss on Apple. Kept it small, and then had a few long positions, and just sort of once I saw that 40-60 on the ES break to the upside, that was our key 40-60 level. After that 40-60 level broke yesterday, it was pretty much just upside from there. So levels worked really nicely yesterday. I didn't quite execute it as well as I could have, but that is trading. As long as we can, right? Someone said this in the Discord, which I really agree with. There's 3 things in trading, right? There's small losses, small wins, and big wins, right? There should be no big losses. So yesterday, small loss, one of those days, and we move forward to today. So today, as you guys know, big stuff. Let's go ahead and start jumping into it. Welcome back, guys. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here, or maybe let me work for it. Let me work for your subscribe. See if you guys like the stream after watching it if you are new. And yeah, let's do it. So today, let's go ahead and pop up the economic calendar real quick. Obviously, that's going to be on everyone's watch. That's the big news of the day, and that is right here. So in about 12 minutes, we are going to have ADP employment report. So that's going to kick off our economic news today. So the last reading was, what was the last reading was 235. The forecast here is 190. So they are expecting employment to drop from 234 to 190. If it's higher than 190, I would assume that's a bearish thing. If the jobs market is stronger than what's expected, you would maybe expect some bearish reactions. If it is lower than 190, then maybe you can expect some bullish reactions here at 8:15. So we'll see that. That's first. We'll have to we might want to wait. We'll talk about the futures a little bit before that report, but we're probably going to have to relook at the futures after 8:15. I'm assuming there's going to be some type of move to sort of readjust our thought process at 8:15. So 8:15 in about 10 minutes, we got ADP employment. 9:45, 15 minutes after open, we have manufacturing PMI. 30 minutes after open, we have ISM manufacturing index, job openings, and job quits, and construction spending. So for me today, I will not be trading until 10 a.m. I will not trade until the 10 a.m. Data comes out. My first 30 minutes of today will be managing some swing trades that I have. I have a few swing trades on, really small ones. If you guys are in the Discord, you know about those. That Meta put, hopefully I can close that for a profit this morning. Should. Meta had some downside off snap. So I'm going to be managing some of those swing trades. That's my game plan today. First 30 minutes, manage swings. Either get out of them, or if I see the market reacting with what I want to see, I'll hold on to some of them. So that's going to be my first 30 minutes today. After 10 a.m., right, is when I'm going to start to look for some short-term opportunities. I'm going to look at from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I'm going to see if there's any type of momentum based off of job openings, job quits, construction spending. After that period, if I find any plays, after that period, I'll hold off until 2 o'clock, which is the big event today, Fed funds rate and FOMC Fed funds rate, and Jerome Powell speaking at 2:30. So that's how I'm sort of outlining my day. I don't really want to get too involved from 9:30 to 10 o'clock because I know there's going to be a lot of potential volatility, maybe some choppiness before that economic news comes out at 10 a.m. So I sort of want to stay away from that. This is something I've had some problems with in my trading in the past, and even recently, such as yesterday. And you have to look at yourself and really be someone that will, willing to adjust what you do wrong sometimes. And for me, usually the first 30 minutes, I do find some plays usually in the first 30, but I also find that most of my losses are in the first 30 as well. So I want to start to play around with the idea of giving the market a little bit more time after open. I think it's a thing that you can improve on. If some of you guys, if you journal your trades, if you journal your losing trades, see when those losses come in. Is it a certain time? Are you getting in the market too early? Are you not waiting for a trend to form? For me, that's typically where my losses do come in. And if I can cut that out, and today is going to be a good test of that. So that's what I'm going to do. That's my plan, right? I have a plan today. That's what I'm going to come into the day with. My plan is do not day trade for the first 30 minutes. So that's that. And then tomorrow, jobless claims, continuing jobless claims, 8:30, and then non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate, average hourly earnings, labor force participation on Friday. All right? So that's what we have today on the economic news. That's going to be big, of course. Let's go ahead and pull up the earnings calendar. Earnings calendar. Here we go. All right. So yesterday we had AMD Snap. You guys saw Snap move to the downside. It brought some of those other advertising names to the downside as well. Snapchat to the downside, brought Meta. It brought Google. It brought a stock like Pinterest to the downside. So we are seeing some of those recover today. Google did recover nicely. However, Meta and Snap are pretty much staying to the downside together off of Snap earnings. AMD reported, I guess you could say, a mixed earnings report. Didn't really move much of the semis. Most of the semis are holding up. AMD did move up higher, but is not above that expected move. Excuse me. So you will expect to see implied volatility crush on AMD options this morning. This morning, Waste Management, Peloton, T-Mobile. I haven't even looked at these earnings. I have no interest in any of these. After hours today is going to be pretty big. Meta, that's a pretty big one. If Snap had some concerns, then you might be able to forecast some concerns for Meta, but we'll see. Snapchat and Meta, I really don't think they are anything alike. I know, Meta reacts off Snap because of advertising, but I mean, Meta is definitely, I think we can all agree that Meta has a stronger advertising base and a stronger advertising spend than Snapchat would have. So we'll see. We'll see what Meta does after hours. And then tomorrow's is pretty big. Amazon, Apple, Alphabet. That's going to be pretty damn important there tomorrow for the tech sector. Qualcomm as well. All right. So that's our little brief here in the morning. We got about 5 minutes until that first economic news hits. So we can go ahead and, I guess we can kill some time. We can go over my month of January. I figured we can do that today. I'll go ahead and pull up my month, show you guys how I did for the month of January. It's a pretty good month. And, I felt like it was going to be slow. And I'm actually sort of surprised with the profits that I was able to pull, because I felt like it was starting off of like a very slow month, and it sort of just stacked and stacked and stacked, which I think is a good example of those base hits, right? Those base hits adding up, those base hits creating bigger opportunities. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up real quick here, and we can take a look at my January month. Here we go. So here's my trading for January. $9,406, 77 total trades. I'm pretty happy with this, right? This is a great target for me. This is really my target, $10,000 a month. If I could do this consistently, if I can make $120,000 a year trading, I am more than happy. So we'll see, right? A good start for me. A great start for the account. Profit factor 2.6, average winning trade 360, average losing trade 215. This is very important to me. This is the most important thing for me. If you guys know my trading, I like to keep my losses extremely tight. My break and retest strategy requires small losses and big wins, right? Because the break and retest strategy it's a strategy that I believe has a winning win ratio, which I've seen in the past. I've tested. So you can see this win rate of 57 is nothing outrageous, right? It's not like awesome, like this guy wins all the time. I don't win all the time. That's definitely not what I do. But what I do well with my strategy is this. This is what I do well with my strategy. I keep my losses very small, and when I win, it's typically, as you can see with the statistics, it's typically higher than my losses, which is what sort of helps me become profitable. Here are my open swing trades: Netflix, Tesla, Nike. And then here are my days. Biggest day was this $4,000 day. That was a big, what was that? That was a big swing trade on Microsoft. You guys remember that Microsoft put ahead about 106% on that one. So let me go back. What happened there? Oh, okay, there we go. That's that. Few losing days. This is a pretty big red day for me. $763. That's a pretty that one I wasn't happy about. That was a 0 DTE mess up of a day. I made a video about this day. That's my month. So wanted to share that. Just being transparent, being open about what I've done. As you guys know, people make a lot more money than me. $9,400 is good, but it's not like some other traders out there. But I'm happy with these wins. So 2 minutes here until ADP employment. Let's go ahead and just sort of kill some time until that comes out. and then we will jump right into the futures, guys. All right. So let's keep up the ES here. We'll get that ADP employment report, and then we will jump into the futures here momentarily after this report comes out. So hope everyone's having a good morning. That is TradeZella. Yeah, Apple earnings going to be big. Meta buddies. Yeah, hopefully Meta can pay us nicely this morning. Hey, sideways isn't bad, Dustin. You know, if you can keep your account sideways while you learn, that's really the key. I mean, that's great. I would be happy with sideways. Sideways while learning and getting experience is very, very great. It's great. It's great. All right, we got about 50 seconds until the data does release. And then we will jump in real quick to the futures and try to get everything in today. Do I trade the ES? Sometimes, Aaron. Sometimes. Not as much as like a full-time futures trader, but I will dabble once in a while. Someone asked me about long-term stocks. Do I look at tech? No, Nugent. I just buy the stocks I like. That's it. We can go ahead and pull up the M1 account real quick. Show you guys month to date on that as well. All right, here we go. So let's see what we get here, if anything. Of course, there's bigger economic news today, so we'll see if there's a major move on the ES or Nasdaq. Let's see what this number is. It should be coming here on the Discord. Here we go. ADP shows employment increased by 106,000. So that is, you go back to the economic calendar, 106. So it increased a lot less, right? So I think the median forecast was 190. So it increased a lot less, which would possibly be a bullish sign that jobs are increasing less. We'll see how the market reacts to that. But that is a pretty decent sized decrease versus the median forecast. 106 versus 180. So pretty decent decrease versus the expectation. Wow. All right. So that's potentially bullish. We'll see how the market reacts to that, but not really much reaction. I think there's probably bigger economic data today that probably holds a lot more weight than that. But so far, pretty much a non-event. Is the dollar going down? Yeah, so big dollar drop. Did that break through the lows? So this is what we were talking about. I don't know if I talked about this on the stream yesterday. I think I did. I talked about how if the dollar rejects this supply, yeah, I think we talked about this. If the dollar rejects this supply up here, then equities could hold up. And, you know, this is probably something I could have gave a little bit more weight into my own personal trading yesterday. So if I saw the dollar rejecting this supply, I should have been probably a little bit more biased to the upside, or at least have that idea that if this dollar does decline, then equities could sort of hold higher. And that's pretty much what you saw. You saw the supply rejection on the dollar, and equity sort of just grinded higher. So dollar moving lower with that ADP employment report, and you're coming back to those, you know, that demand low area around this 101.70, 101.50. So little dollar decline there. Keep an eye on that. That's going to be important today. We'll see how that dollar reacts pretty much all throughout the day. Dollar does move around a lot. So just because, like, look at yesterday morning, right? Huge spike in the dollar would lead you to believe that things were getting bearish, and then look at the entire day, just down all day. So we'll have to monitor that dollar intraday today. All right, let's get started with the futures. Let's get this day going. So I think today is all about 4,100, right? I think that is going to be on everyone's eyes. I think if you can get a real move over 4,100, if you can get a legitimate push, a legitimate hold over 4,100, I could definitely see the bullish setup, right? You could definitely see the bullish setup over 4,100. I think that's been a huge shelf. This is a level that I talked about back in November, and I said, hey, if we can get over 4,100 anytime in the future, I think that's where your bullish setup could occur. I think that could be a little bit of a squeeze level. We all have our eyes on 4,100. We all know it's there. There's tons of traders that are setting up around this 4,100. And, a break and hold above 41, I would at least give it a shot at an upside play, right? I think that 4,100 level would release a little bit of would release a little bit of buying opportunities. So let's see let's see where, if that comes in today. We'll see if that happens on job openings, job quits. We'll see if that happens on FOMC. We'll see if that happens on the Jerome Powell press conference, right? There's a lot of things that could move around today. But if I can see a legitimate break, a legitimate hold over 4,100, then that's where I would look for that upside move, right? That would be, oh, really? Tom Brady retired? Oh, shit. Yeah, he did. Tom Brady retires from NFL. Wow. Well, it was a good run, Tom.
Guys, I'll get to the point right away. I'm retiring for good. I know the process was a pretty big deal last time, so when I woke up this morning, I figured I'd just press record and let you guys know first. So I won't be long-winded. You only get one super emotional.
All right. Sort of sad, honestly. It's a little emotional. But that's, GG to the GOAT. GG. All right. So back to the stock market. That's bullish. That's bullish. 4,100, I think, I think as the only way I could get really strong confirmation for upside trades today is a break and retest of 4,100. That's what I would be watching for the upside, right? Okay, so I think that's pretty clean. I think it's a very easy level to play off of. I think it's a nice technical level. If we get a break, if we get a hold above 41, then I would look for that upside continuation today. All right. To the downside, I think you have to wait for a break of 40.60 today before you can get really aggressive on any type of downside. And I want to stick to this day because yesterday I did not stick to my game plan. Yesterday, I said how I don't want to get short until we break 40.30. It was right around this 40.30, 40.34 area. And I did get short before 40.30. And that's where I took my loss. So today, I'm watching 4,100 and I'm watching 40.60. 40.60 is this previous high here. It's this previous support here. It's this previous rejection from Monday. And it's where we held and retested 40.60 yesterday, right? Look at what 40.60 did yesterday. This was very key to yesterday's upside. So you guys remember, if you're on the stream, we talked about 40.60 yesterday. We talked about the potential rejections at that level. Now, what you can see around 11 o'clock, 11:30, 12 o'clock, you got yourself a little triple top at 40.60. But we were talking on the Discord at this time. If you guys are in the Discord, I'm sure you remember us talking here. This day was very resemblant, which we've seen a lot lately, of a day where you do hit these supply rejections, but they just simply do not give up, right? You don't see that downside move. It's too strong. It's a grind to the upside, and playing these rejections lately have not worked, right? Because we are technically in the short term in some type of an uptrending market. And as of right now, the resiliency definitely seems to be to the upside. And so I did not play any rejections here because it seemed like that type of day. We've seen it plenty of times where the sellers that do stack up here at 40.60 or at any supply level end up getting squeezed out of their positions. And that is exactly what happened yesterday, right? We broke it, we retested it, and this was really the best long entry of the day yesterday for any type of trader. The real entry for any type of, the real confirmation entry for upside was not here, right? It was not in this 40.30 to 40.60. This, you could have traded some upside, but this was not confirmation. This right here was your confirmation. The break and retest of 40.60 yesterday is where the move, I think, really started, and that's where the upside really started to come in here. So today, right, I don't want to be short until we're back below 40.60. Because if I get short towards 40.60, there's a chance that it holds up again. So 4060, 4100. I know it's a very wide range, but I need to have a wide range on a day like today, like FOMC with all this economic data. I want to make sure I have a wider range and I really stick true to it. So 4060, 4100, I think those are the levels to watch today. Which side we move is going to be, I can't tell you that, right? I can't go that far. I can give you the levels, but today with the economic data, I can't go as far as to tell you which side I think this goes. So 4100, 4060, I think you watch either side and you see which way that market looks, starts to trend. All right. Nasdaq. So 4 hour on the Nasdaq, this 12.1 level is, I think, very important today. So 12,100 was a previous high here, right? This was a triple top. Previous high here, and previous high here. Now, I said yesterday on stream, you do not go long into a triple top, right? I don't want to go long into this triple top. And I still stand behind that, right? Just because the market went higher today, it doesn't make me, regret not going long into this level, right? There was some upside opportunity, right? There is definitely, an upside move here for the first hour and a half of the market, which you could have taken advantage of if you were, short-term trading. But I wouldn't have felt comfortable going long anywhere here up into that triple top. So I still stand by that 12,100 level, right? I don't really like the way we moved up here yesterday. At no point, right? I can't go against, my trading, how I feel when I trade, right? At no point yesterday was I like, yes, this is a very strong move on the Nasdaq, and I want to go long here. It didn't really pop up in my head yesterday. I didn't want to go long into 12.1, and I guess you could say I missed this upside. So today, now that we are above 12.1, now it gives me a little bit more confirmation, because if we can maintain 12.1, then I would be more confident for upside continuation. If I go to the 4 hour chart, why am I confident for possible continuation over 12.1? Because now I can trade off this level, right? I can now trade off this previous high here, this previous high here, and this previous high right here. If we turn this previous triple top into a support today, then I would at least have some confidence in an upside play, right? Now I can play off of this triple top. If this triple top turns into support, then I at least have a level I can go long off of and have a good risk to reward to the upside. So that's what I'm watching today, 12.1. Does it hold? Does it not? That's the idea. That's what I'm going to monitor. If we do hold 12.1, I would just watch out for this 12.3. 12.3, 12.3. That is where that big double top rejection came in. Keep an eye on that zone up there around 12.3. So 12.3, 12.1. If we break 12.1, I would just monitor this low from Thursday, Friday, which comes in right at that 200 SMA. Pretty much right here around that 12.20, 12.15 we talked about yesterday. And this 12.15, 12.20 level, again, was one of the key retest holds of the day yesterday, which maybe you could have, that's where you could have maybe went long if you wanted to take that short-term upside. You could have went long over that 12.15 break and hold above 12.15 and the 200 SMA. 200 SMA is hidden right behind this line. You guys can probably see it, maybe not. It's right there. 200 SMA, that red line, that is the 200. And once we got above that, and once we held above it, that's where that upside continuation came in. So if you are short today, I would say look first to see if we lose 12.1. And if we do, just watch out for that 200 SMA below at 12.20. And if you go long today, let's say you get a little long entry off 12.1, just watch out for that 12.3 up top. All right. So those are the levels I would watch on the Nasdaq. Dow Jones. So the Dow Jones had a nice break and hold over this triple top. Let's go to the 30-minute chart. You guys can see right here, we had that triple top on the Dow. This is where I said don't go long into this triple top, which I still agree with. You can see rejection, rejection, rejection. I didn't want to go long before that triple top because it's possible to see a rejection, right? Just because we can look at this in hindsight and see that it did break does not mean that this could have happened as well. So trading into that triple top was not something I was interested in, probably why I missed that morning upside. And then you can see that's around that 33,880 level. And if we go to the 5-minute chart, look at what happened on the Dow after we broke that 33,880. Look at the reaction. You can see this was your triple top level, right? This is what I didn't want to trade long into. Even here, early morning, right? If we go to the 1 minute chart, you can see when I said don't trade into a multi-month triple top, you can see right here, we did push into that triple top, but we started to reject, right? We got a rejection, a rejection, a rejection, a rejection. Shorts started to get heavy here, and then they got squeezed, right? The shorts sort of piled in. They were trying to short at that triple top. They were saying, okay, this is a nice place to set up a short entry. And the squeeze sort of happened here later day around 12:15. So squeeze through the triple top, and then that's where the Dow really took off. Ever since that triple top break, the Dow just rallied into close. So nice break of that triple top on the Dow. Today, right? Today, I would say the same thing, but for the bullish side. I would not want to be short into this triple top, right? I would not want to be short before we broke back below that level. If you're shorting into this previous triple top, right, you have the possibility of getting a demand hold of that triple top if we do see a bit move to the downside today at 33,880. So watch out for that on the Dow, 33,880. If you are short, that could also be a long entry. If you can get a long entry off this level, see if the demand does hold up. And then to the upside, I would just say you're watching some of these previous highs, really. I would just say monitor some of these previous highs, 34,200 area. That's what I would watch. Previous highs there, and then, I don't know, maybe these previous highs from 4 hour. But I think these previous highs in the short term are more influential. So I would just watch some of these previous highs. 34,170, 34,200, right? All up in this zone is where I'd monitor for, some heavy action up there. All right? So that's the Dow. Yeah, maybe, Mauricio. I haven't really, for me, I typically see chop before FOMC, but yesterday was a nice, strong move. So Russell, you guys can see, popped through that 1905 and just sort of rallied. The Russell has been very strong. Those small caps have really started to move. So that's a pretty big breakout for the Russell. I'm not going to lie. Look at that. That's a pretty big breakout for the Russell. That's a breakout from this major top here around 1905. Really, your next level doesn't come in till around this 1950, and then maybe this high around this 2030 area. So I'd say watch out for 1950 on the Russell if you are trading the Russell. Keep an eye on that 1950 area. But that's a pretty nice little break for the small caps. Small caps have been sort of leading, which is something that it's something I would monitor because I said this on stream once. I don't remember where I heard this, but small caps leading the market typically does have some sign of a good move, right? I kicked you from the Discord. I did not kick you from the Discord. I don't kick any. Unless you did something really stupid, I didn't kick you from the Discord. If I kicked you from the Discord, it's for some really bad reason, and that's probably why. And you probably can't come back. I'm sorry. If you just got removed from the Discord because maybe a payment failed, then DM me on Instagram or send me an email. I did not remove. The only reason I removed from the Discord is because they're a total idiot. All right. So, Russell, 1950. Yeah, risk on, small caps leading. That's sort of the idea, right? We'll see. We'll see how it follows through. It all depends on today. Smike, I don't think I kicked you from the Discord, my friend. So if you want to get back in, then just shoot me an email. All right, that's the futures. Let's continue. So Tesla, I think this 175 level is going to be pretty interesting here today. I am looking to see if there is strength on the market. If there is strength on the market, is there a possible buying opportunity off of 175 today? 175, 174. This is why right here. So I'm actually going to turn this green because we are now trading above it. Here is why I'm interested in 175, 174 on Tesla. You guys can see right here, if we zoom in to this little area from back last week, we can see 175 here, We can see 175 here. We can see 175 here, right? So we have definitely a previous area of support around that 175. Now, if we zoom over, we can see 174, 174, 174, 174. Now, today, we are trading above that 175 previous support. So if we turn 175 into a short-term support, anywhere within this dollar range, if we see bids start to stack up at 174, 175, then I would look to trade Tesla to the upside today. All right. I would definitely look to see if Tesla gets bid up in this zone here around 174, 175. I would look to see if there is a bounce off this zone. That is going to be definitely a watch for me today after 10 o'clock, after 10 o'clock, first 30 minutes. So you can see previous lows, previous lows, previous lows, previous highs, previous highs, previous highs. This $1 zone looks like it definitely could have some demand. And if I see this stock get bid up off this zone, I would look for a play back into this 180 area, 179, 180 area. All right. That's what I would look for there. If you move back below this 174, then I would say things don't look as bullish for Tesla. If you break 174, I would say things don't look as good for Tesla today. So I would want to see Tesla maintain 174, 175 for upside and under 174 for downside. Okay. All right. Pragmatic ideal. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think we're all partial idiots, right? I think we can all be true with ourselves that we're all partial idiots. I think we're all partial idiots to some extent. I call myself an idiot sometimes for sure. TSM, this is a swing trade idea that I am definitely interested in taking. Here's a few reasons. One, I like semiconductors. You guys know that. I think they're one of the stronger sectors right now. And two, I really like this 4-hour setup on TSM. So TSM had some previous highs in this level, previous support here. It had some previous highs here before rejecting around 90. And then in the short term, we go to the 30-minute. Actually, no, let's go to the hour. We go to the hourly chart. We previously had some rejections around this 90 area again. So we broke it, and we've come back down, and we gapped down yesterday, and we had a very strong bid off that 90 area, right? A very strong move yesterday off that 90 area. Can't say it's like a breakout move, but this is a very interesting hold around that 90 zone. This is a nice retest hold of that 90 zone. If TSM if the market does find strength today, right? If let's say midday we're above 4100 on the ES, let's say things are rocketing, things are rolling. If I see that, right, I am definitely intrigued with a swing trade here on TSM. Stop would be under 90. I like this idea. It's a daily chart. If we look at this daily chart, it's a nice hold again of that 90 area. I would probably first be targeting these highs here around this 96. And then if we can break that 96, I would look for more continuation up in this pretty low volume area up here. So eyeing TSM today, if there's market strength, that is going to be something that I will be sort of favoring today for upside. Amazon. Big time supply on Amazon today. I think this is going to be a really crucial day for Amazon. I think you're going to be able to find trades on both sides here, depending on what the market does. So you have a very apparent previous support here, which is going to turn into supply, right? It's acting as a supply zone right now. You can see right here, rejections, and you're sitting right in between it right now, right? You're sitting right there in between this supply as we speak. For me, if I zoom in here, to go long Amazon, I would want to see a break of this wick high from the gap down. The high of this candle is 104.87. 104.87 is the high of this candle, and after that, you're looking at a gap here, right? You have a gap up to the lows of this candle, which is 109.77, right up in here. So if the market is strong today, right, if we get upside, I would look for Amazon to break 104.87, look to see if it holds, and if it does, I would look to trade this thing into the gap, right? That would be an idea for me today if the market is strong. Now, on the flip side, if we get a very weak day today, if we see extreme downside, if we get very ugly, let's say Jerome Powell comes out with his claws out and just sort of says, we're going down, folks. If he says that, right, if we gets hawkish on us, I would be looking for this supply rejection. Right, this could be a textbook, really great opportunity supply rejection here. Only concern, right, is earnings. We have earnings, which is sort of puts a little dent in the plan here. But this is a nice supply. This could be a very nice rejection, but we're going to have to see confirmation on the market. We're going to have to see confirmation on the market first. Either a break over this wick at 104.80, 105. You could even give it 105 if you want, right? If you want to be more at that psych level, you could give it 105. 105 break, I think, brings 109. And then an ugly day on the market brings a supply rejection on Amazon. I think this is I think there's going to be a nice move here. Let's just say that. I think there's going to be a move here coming up on Amazon. It's at a very crucial level on the daily chart. So definitely keep an eye on Amazon. All right, AbbVie, a stock that I don't typically trade, but when I see a good opportunity, I do like to take it. I like the overall strength of AbbVie historically. I think it's a very strong stock. I think pullbacks are buying opportunities on AbbVie. I've been buying lots of shares of AbbVie recently on this pullback just because of the dividend yield and the overall performance of the stock. The healthcare sector is something I want to be invested in as well. And I'm thinking that this pullback could be opportunity here in the short term. So if I go to the daily chart, this could even be opportunity heading into earnings. You know, I don't want to say that too confidently, but earnings are on the 9th, and you just pulled back on AbbVie about 15% right back into these previous highs, right? You had a previous rejection that right here turned into a support. So this right here alone is a break and retest hold, which led to an increase of 15%. Now, look at the reaction on AbbVie yesterday. Look at this daily candle, right? This daily candle gives me some confirmation that this downtrend is maybe starting to get bought up and that it is literally right at the previous retest level, right? So this is a type of trade. This is a fantastic example of a type of swing trade that I would take simply because of the technical setup, and I would have to accept the loss or the win, right? There's you know, you can't, I don't know how to say this. When I see something like this, you can't keep digging into why I shouldn't take it. Oh, what about this? What about that? What if this happens? What if that happens? You know, what if I lose money? At this point, for me personally, on a setup like this pretty much looks like the exact setup that I would want to be taking long. If I lose on it, that's what I have to accept. But this is a break. This is a hold of a previous high. This is a very nice previous rejection that turned into support previously. We are back at it. We've gotten that daily chart, that daily candle confirmation of some buyers stepping up. And at this point, right, this is a type of trade that I would take maybe 2 months out, 3 months out, and just sort of let this baby sit. That's what I would do on something like AbbVie. I would take maybe a March, maybe an April contract, April 150s, April 145s, and I would just sit on it, right? I would just sit on it, and I would let it do its thing. You could sell a put, Darwood, yeah. You could sell a put on it. If you own 100 shares, you could do a covered call. Oh, no, you wouldn't want to do that. If you have the cash, you could do a cash secured put, or you could just sell a put. I mean, if you want to sell a naked put, that's up to you. I don't like selling naked puts, but if you have the cash secured put, you could do that. I wouldn't sell a covered call here because my idea here is that it goes up, so I wouldn't really want to sell a covered call that's already depleted, getting low premium, and then potentially getting it. So yeah, no covered calls here. If you have the cash secured put, if you want to sell a naked put, you could do that as well. But I would rather, in my opinion here, either continue to buy the shares, which I am, or I would take some maybe March or April 150s is probably what I would do. I would probably take the April 145s, really. I would like to be in the money on a play like this. So I like this. It's a setup. It might work. It might not. But this is a setup that I like. Figured I'd share it. Nvidia. And I know one of you guys in the Discord took this yesterday. And shout out to you. I forgot who it was. But yeah, great call on this. Thanks for bringing this to my attention. Again, great reason why I love the Discord community. And I'm not trying to self-promote mine. It could be mine. It could be someone else's. It could be you and your friends, right? Even if you started Discord with you and your friends. I would have not looked at AbbVie for that opportunity if it was not brought up in the community. So, yeah, that's a big reason I like to trade with people in general. Maybe you just start a little chat with you and your friends. Make sure you have more than 2 eyeballs on the market, assuming everyone here has 2 eyeballs. I'm sorry. I'm going to get canceled. I'm canceled. Make sure you have more than 2 eyes on the market. Make sure you have some more eyeballs scanning some opportunities out there. I think it's very important. All right. Nvidia. Nvidia for me is in no man's land. I would want to look for a move above or below 197 or 193, right? So I want to see a break over 197 or a break below 193 before getting involved in Nvidia today. If Nvidia stays within 193 and 197, I have no interest in trading Nvidia today. But I think that these little guardrails could present opportunity today. So I would say move over 197, look for upside. Move. How dare you assume I have 2 eyeballs? Move under 193, look for the downside. So 193 downside, I'd look for that. Over 197, I'd look for upside. That's my plan on Nvidia today. All right. Shopify. So you guys know I like Shop. You know what? I'm gonna change my YouTube name to. I'm gonna change my YouTube name to the Delusional Shop Bull. But here's Shop. I love it. Up a really nice amount in my shares, and I am looking for a break over 51. I think 51 unleashes the next Shop move. So previous lows here was exactly 51. I mean, it's on the dot. 51 exact low. So I think 51 is very key. If you can get over 51, then I would look for that continuation to the upside. All right. 51, I would not long Shop before a 51 break. I would not long Shop until a 51 break. There is simply no risk to reward here for you. All right. There is no risk to reward here for you into 51. I would wait for 51 to break. I would look for 51 to turn into some type of a new support. And then I would look for that to go. I would look for a long entry there. Obviously, again, this all depends on what we see on the market. Right? So 51, that's what I'd watch on Shop. Let's see if it can break above it. If it can break and hold, I'd look for upside. If it rejects, if the market's weak, this could also be, all right, you got to think both ways. This could also be a fantastic rejection point on Shop. If the market is weak today, if Shop rejects this previous low at 51, could be an absolutely beautiful short opportunity on Shopify, right? I'm a delusional 2-eyed Shop bull. All right, so that's Shop. FedEx. Oh my God, what a retest on FedEx, man. I know one of you guys took this in the Discord yesterday. Who was that? That was... Ooh, I forgot who it was. Someone took it. I don't know if you're watching or not, but someone took this yesterday, and what a damn play. Look at this retest on FedEx. Look at this. Previous highs, previous lows, and previous lows. This was sick. I wish I took this trade. I really do. This was a great setup. Actually, one of you guys in the live stream brought it up in the ticker form as well. So shout out to you, whoever that was. Shout out to you on that. I'll go ahead and pull up that ticker form real quick. Yeah, look at this. Whoever this was, hell of a call, man. Whoever this was, hell of a call. Right there. Paint that thing bright green. FedEx 183 retest. Sick. Congratulations if you took this trade. Yeah. So pullback 183, previous rejections into support here, into support again at 183. You go to the 5-minute chart, just look at the day FedEx had off 183 yesterday, just a straight up. So now I would look for the break and hold above the previous highs. You also have to be careful of that 200 SMA. So I don't know if I like the risk to reward now to the upside as much. But I would say your next move here, if it really does continue, is a gap fill of 200. So here's your gap fill. I would say you potentially gap fill that 200 level. Watch out for the 200 SMA. Watch that 200 level. But yeah, for now, I would say you need to wait and need to see if there is a pullback or some type of really strong retest before now entering long. But that was sick. I just wanted to share that with you guys today. All right. So we'll go over a few of these. I would say Apple, look for that 143 retest. I don't really like how Apple moved yesterday, so I'm not really looking at it. Look for a retest of 143 on Apple. What else did we not go over? Did we go over AMD? We didn't go over AMD. I would say here's AMD post earnings. I would say if AMD can hold 77, then you might be able to get a little retest hold, right? Look at this. Previous triple top on AMD. Look at what it's doing right now. So if AMD can turn 77 into a if AMD can turn 77 into a support today, maybe there's a little retest trade here. The only thing I would say to be concerned about is the highs around 79. Right? You have some previous lows here. You have some pretty major rejections here and rejections here, and you have the 200 SMA right there on AMD as well. So if you do go long AMD off this 77 retest, then you're going to have to be really tight on it. I would be careful up around that 79. Meta, Meta needs to break 146, right? You got to break below that 146 for downside. I'll probably take my profits on my swing trade today. My Meta swing trade was going up in value as the stock went up yesterday because of IV expansion. At the end of the day, I was up 80% on some Meta puts, and the stock was going up. IV expansion was pretty crazy. I'm going to look to see if I can cash in on those this morning. I think that Meta, if it holds this 146, could try to recover today. So watch out for this 146 on Meta. All right, let me quickly go into the ticker form, and then we got to jump out of here, guys. It's getting late, and I got to head over to the Discord. Enphase BIDU. All right, Enphase. Enphase, I was sort of I was trying to play this short here yesterday, and I took a loss on Enphase. I was looking to play the short on Enphase at 220 area. 220, 218. This previous high here, oh, you can't see the screen. 220, 218, right here. I was looking to see if I could play that previous high rejection. You can see we were trading below it. We were trading back into it. So I was looking to see if I could play that short. But Enphase has a little bit too much juice there, a little bit too strong. And I would say the only way you could get short on Enphase here again is maybe a move under 221, 220. Besides that, I would stay away from it. Looks like it's starting to move higher. And then BIDU, I think it gapped up this morning. I'm not sure exactly why. Price target increases, it looks like. Carmine, get to Florida, man. I don't know what you're still doing in Jersey. I don't know what you're doing in Jersey, Carmine. Come to the good side. Carmine's going to come visit the apartment in Miami. Yeah. BIDU, where did the gap up to? Yeah, guys, I mean, I wouldn't get involved in this. I would not get in. Don't get suckered into these Asian market gap ups. I just don't think it's going to yield you any type of real return in the long term, guys. You got a gap up on Baidu right into an absolute no man's land here. I would stay very far away. All right. Miami meetup. I am honored. I am honored to have the presence of Mr. Carmine Rosado, fellow Paisan in the live stream. All right. So Have a good day, guys. I hope you enjoy the trading day. Again, my plan today is to not trade for the first 30 minutes. Let the economic news shake out. Let it shake out. Let the trend start to form. No need to get all anxious in the first 30 before we have job openings, job quits. Let it go out, right? Let's see which way that market moves post data. Let's see if there's any opportunities between 10 and 2. And then hands off at 2, guys. See what happens at FOMC. Jerome Powell speaks at 2:30. If you want to get involved post 2:30, trade at your own risk, right? Post 2:30 can be a little interesting, but I think your sweet spot today is between 10 and 2. Wait for that 10 o'clock data to come out. See what happens after 10. See if you can get that continuation move. All right? Not a day to swing for home runs. Absolutely agreed. If you guys can wake up tomorrow and just forget yesterday happened and then play the continuation move tomorrow, I think that's another great plan, guys. If you're new to trading, I know there's a lot of hype around a day like today. Everyone starts to tweet about, yeah, I made $100,000 on this day last month. FOMC is the best, man. If you're new to trading, please know that is all. I don't know what I want to call it. You know what I'm going to say. If you're new to trading, careful on a day like today. You don't need to blow up your account on a day like today. Tomorrow, there's going to be nice continuation after that economic data. We'll get a trend, I would hope, and then that will be that day where you can take advantage. So have a great day, guys. Day of patience, day of being cautious, capital preservation, like Carmine said. Listen to the man, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Peace out.
Bye.